Who likes owls? Well, if your answer to that was yes, and you are a follower of Christ and are interested in the Bible, spoiler alert, your opinion is probably about to change. Owls in the Bible are representative of death, desolation, impurity, demons, false goddesses, representative of the abandonment and judgment of God, and darkness. Let's start with looking in Leviticus 11, when God gives Moses a list of animals not to eat, ritually unclean. He lists a lot of birds, and he lists many owls. Okay, that's our start. In Psalms, they were looked at as symbols of desolation many places. In Isaiah 13 and 34. In Isaiah 13, it's referencing the desolation of Babylon after its fall. And there's going to be many unclean birds there. In Isaiah 34, talks about a screech owl that is translated that way in the King James Bible. And this is talking about the desolation and destruction of Edom. But what's interesting there is that word Lilitu. It refers to the Sumerian goddess Lilith, and one of her symbols was an owl. In Revelation 18, it references back to Isaiah 13, talking about the destruction of Babylon and the desolation and the kind of animals that are going to be thereafter. They're associated next to hyenas and ravens and jackals and serpents. It's very unclean animals all throughout. They are an occult. They're a big symbol of the occult. Hidden knowledge, wisdom. The Celtics would say that it's about deep secrets. Maybe could be referred to as the Gnostics or the Nicolaitans in the Bible. But they're often associated with witchcraft and spiritual darkness and those who operate in spiritual darkness. Now, you have across all cultures too. In Native Americans, look at them as evil spirits ran with them. All these cultures think of owls as harbingers of death. Hungarian, Romanian, these different cultures, they all have bad ideas of the owl and what they brought to the party. Now, you do have your Sumerian goddess, like I said, Lilith, and you have in Greek mythology, you had Athena, who's considered the goddess of wisdom, knowledge, and Minerva for the Roman goddess. And also in Greek mythology, you would have it representative of Hecate, who was the goddess of magical dark arts and witchcraft. Now, when we think of the owl as a symbol of wisdom and knowledge, it's coming from those false gods. It's not coming from anything biblical. There's nothing that is of the Lord that says owls are a good sign. They are negative in every aspect. Now, it's also, you got to understand that I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Bohemian Club and the Bohemian Grove. Well, the owl is the big symbol they use for their cremation care ritual. Look into that. The Owl Club is also something at Harvard having to do with secret society types. There's nothing good about this animal. Yes, it looks good, it's neat, but it talked about it's also a silent flyer. Think about that. Roaming in darkness, nocturnal. Sound like something that would be associated with witches. All throughout Halloween you see this symbolism. Darkness. You see it in a lot of movies, like witchcraft movies like Harry Potter. You see it in Disney movies where they have witches. You see it in a lot of logos, like the Hooters logos, the Twin Peaks logos, Legends, Ghoul, the Disney's Owl House. It's about opening a demon portal all throughout, wherever you look. The owls represent the occult. And even, let me say this, Athena, that Greek goddess, it was mythology or thought that she could use the eyes and the ears of the owl basically as a astral projection. This is known to witches, and they would use owl totems to increase their psychic abilities, increase their spiritual awareness, and gain higher powers. Now, this is brutal when you see all this owl symbology and what it means in the Bible. Let me make sure. Oh, I forgot about this. In Hindu, the goddess of wealth and prosperity, Lakshmi, is represented by an owl too. That is the, she looked at it as having wisdom, but she's represented by the lotus pose. And if you know about the lotus flower, coming from below, as above, so below, these are all demonic symbols. They're all represented in rough ways. I'm gonna make sure, that's Native Americans associate them with the underworld, and the Romanian people associate them with the troubled souls of the dead, Hungarian with night demons. This is a bad thing in our society. And if you do have owls that are constantly around your house, or you're seeing them a lot, they were associated with death and darkness. I would recommend praying to the Lord to break off occultic things that might be tied to your background, generational curse possibly, or any involvement with the occult. Now, whether that's yoga or tarot or Ouija boards, palm reading, this kind of stuff opens the door to that kind of thing. Symbols of death. Just pray to the Lord, test the spirits, see if he can speak to you on this matter. But it's something that needs to be broken off. We have the authority in Jesus' name to rebuke and break off. But Hosea 4:6 says, my people will be destroyed for lack of knowledge. If we open those doors to the occult, whether it's having a evil eye symbol, whether it's having charm bracelets, whether it's having a rabbit's foot, a horseshoe, there's a lot of different witchcraft-laden symbols. The Eye of Horus pyramid. Sometimes we welcome this stuff in by the things that are in our houses. And as it says in Exodus, if you bring a cursed item into your house, you're going to be accursed. Something to really think about. What are we putting in our ears, in our eyes? Are we watching stuff that is not glorifying to the Lord? Witchcraft shows. Witchcraft has gotten so much popularity lately. Think about that. They're not positive. They're not positive. Witches are thought of as, there's good witches. Well, no. How many times in the Bible does it talk about how dangerous witchcraft is? Sorcery, pharmakia, very much necromancers. Their end is the lake of fire. When we associate with these kind of things, we give the devil a foothold. When we give the devil a foothold, he takes a whole lot of territory. We have to resist the devil. That's the only way he'll flee from us. It also could be possible that there are witches in your life that do not like you, that have put curses on you. Yes, we can rebuke and resist those curses, but we have to know our authority and dominion against the enemy. That authority comes with proximity to the King, praying, leaning into the Word, and realizing our dominion over the enemy. We can't just let Satan hit our lives. We have to be aware. Big key to spiritual warfare is knowing your enemy. Maybe you were part of a organization or a club that had witches in it, that had warlocks in it. Maybe there's Dungeons and Dragons being played in your household. Maybe there's witchcraft-laden video games. You give access to these demons, and they have legal right to hunt and hurt. We have to break off all ties from the occult. Even the word says, those that have other gods, God takes out vengeance on the third and fourth generation. There was occultic things in my lineage that I had to learn about and break off. You can do it too. But we have to know what we're up against. And we have to know that Satan is out to steal, kill, and destroy. And witchcraft is one of his main ways. The New Age, the energy healing, this Reiki healing, some of these holistic doctors that give you things to wear. There's a lot of things that go into this. But yes, owls represent darkness, death, destruction, and evil. And we really need to be aware that when they show up, it might be a sign. Like I said, it's a sign of abandonment and judgment of God. We need to get right, because this year, more so than ever, God's upset with the unrighteous. I'm not saying if you've seen owls that you're unrighteous. I'm saying it could be a lot of things. But just know, they're a symbol of darkness in the Bible. I hope this helped.